Conquest, a part of the Conquest series. After this round, we'll have 2 undefeated players, and those 2 players will play each other final table to determine who takes home the hardware. We've got ourselves this beautiful trophy. Matt is quite familiar with it. Man, these turned out just so nice, though. Like, the pictures do not do it justice. You sent me the pictures. I'm like, those look great. And then, like, I actually looked at them like, oh my God. You know what Steven, you know what Rathos said to me?
What?
So I showed these to him. And he's like, you know, your prizes aren't supposed to look better than the XWA prizes. That's what he said. Well, I was like, well, here we are.
El Rythos, I'm sorry, but no, they turned out perfect. Like,
gorgeous.
We only had one misprint, and it's sitting. I have it back here. The clouds were printed on the wrong side, but yeah, it's man, when I had them in my hand, I was like, I need to take a picture and show it to Nick right away.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's just so. And I mean, and people really love. I mean, they love both, but when then they saw the N1 Global Conquest winner trophy, you know, they were like, "Oh my gosh, that's like, I want that. I want to win that." You know? And that's the hope with these. It feels. It feels like I'm almost like it almost feel, you know, like Dion did a really good job with GSP and having awesome like trophy type prizes for champion prizes, and this feels on par, if not in some ways, you know, maybe better. Not to compare, but like it just feels on par with.
I'll say
with that
the championship. The actual trophy, I think, not that I'm partial or anything, I think it is superior, but I think he did, like, I mean, the price support for just participating in his stuff, you got a ton of stuff.
Yep. And, you know, that was something that I thought about. It was just like, what does price support look like for this? Because we need to charge something, but it needs to be an amount of money that people don't really blink at or don't really get, you know, shocked at. And the only way to really do that is to keep it low. And also because of manpower, not possible for me to be able to ship out hundreds of prizes to people. There's a lot of extra costs that get incurred when shipping internationally, and nowadays it's even worse. So just it's been nice as we do the participation prize stuff, where the paint jobs of the ships is a really cool exclusive prize that is a nice little digital aspect that you get on TTS, and then doing the raffles. I mean, it works out great, and the money being able to go to XWA in part, being able to help fundraise. It already sent some money from Windy City Conquest over to the prize team to help them with their next round, and it's been great. And the reception's been great. Nobody's complained about having to pay to play. That's something I think over worry about. Like, it's like, you know, because Tabletop Simulator is so accessible that I definitely want to feel like there are exclusive and cool things that you get for playing in this that you wouldn't just be able to get firing up the game on your own. And I think we provided that.
Yeah, how much does it cost to play?
$5. It's $5, and the fee is 67 cents, so it's $5.67 after.
Yeah, so like the GSP stuff was $10 the first time, and I remember Dion saying that, you know, he was you know, losing money shipping to everybody, so he did the like $10 for just entry into the galaxies, and then $10 per tournament. And it was like, yeah, that seems fine. And yeah, honestly, man, $5 is stupid cheap.
Yeah, I think any more than there'd have to be a separate, you know, a conversation about prize support for. I want to give people participation prizes, but I mean, I'll be the most candid way possible. Like, I got a life, you know, like I can't afford to bury myself like that. And
yeah, and it was like, and you're like, even the championship, you know, winner award was outsourced. It was something that you didn't have to do. You trusted me to do things, and you reviewed, and you know, so
yeah, it worked. It was really great. It was we've already been able to recoup the cost for the trophies, which is awesome. So, and now moving forward, there's more money we can send XWA, and then there's more money that we can put back into printing stuff and into the channel in general, just which is
Yeah.
like Levi and I are talking about being at Lone Star Open, streaming there.
Okay.
So stuff like that, you know, that money goes a long ways when it comes to doing travel like that. I still need to buy another hard shell case. It's a few $100. So stuff like that. Again, it all helps a lot. So you know, as Tyler would say, donate. $31 sign. Become a patron if you'd like. Get some cool stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of in-person X-Wing, when is the next Windy City trial?
So I haven't like announced it for global signups yet for like whoever is around to play, but it will be on the 12th of July. Like I don't mind talking about it. I just want to make sure that you and other folks, I know you're not going to play, but people that are going to join us will be able to play who really want to play, and then open it up to everyone else.
I was just trying to plug it, but I understand.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. I'll be because it's in July. I feel like I probably, I think maybe towards the end of May I'll make an announcement.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. The official announcement.
Yeah, maybe third week of May, so people have like almost 2 months to prep and plan accordingly. We'll probably, I expect to sell out again. I mean, it's the store only, you know, it doesn't hold that many people. It'll be like 22 people, but we've never had an issue with turnout, and which is awesome. And the other thing is I just put in the order for the Wave 1 prize kit for it as well. So we'll have some custom Wave prizes. This is... There we go. I gotta disable lines there. And do you mind clearing the dice for me, please?
I can do that. I mean, aren't they about to roll?
Oh, they haven't rolled yet. God damn it. Again, sorry. They've just been sitting in there for a really long time.
Yeah.
The last round when they first start setting up.
Yep.
I'm just testing you is what I'm going to tell myself.
Yes.
Little gaslight in the morning. You're crazy, man.
Well, do we want to start? Yeah. I'll do Scum again. So if you want to start with Republic.
Sure. Republic is on the left. We're about to get our first movement here as we are underway. Round 4 of Swiss, the final round of Swiss for the Crumpet Conquest is underway. As that dude who won his invite to the Global Conquest in the last Conquest, Windy City, bringing his Republic list he's had a lot of success with. He's got Y-Wing Anakin with R4P, veteran turret gunner, plasma torpedoes, dorsal turret, and shattering shot. Rick Ali in the N1 has plasmas and passive sensors. Passive sensors on Rick, it's been a while. I don't see that as much as I used to, right? That used to be a more popular combo with him, but it's cool to see it back. It's very solid, especially with overlapping initiative. You know, he's like, I can never get a lock. Well, now he can. You'll have that evade. And then we have Oddball. This Oddball is really interesting and really paired with Plo Koon is really dangerous. 4 points in the torrent. You wouldn't think too much of it in terms of the chassis itself, but gosh, he's got synced console, proton rockets, and proton torpedoes, along with marksmanship. Plo Koon follows suit. He's going to be nearby to help out Oddball. He's got CLT and R4P. Plo's ability can spend a force to choose a friendly ship at range 0 to 2. And if you do, you may transfer 1 green token to it or transfer 1 of your orange tokens to yourself from it. So he can pass focuses or evades to Oddball focuses for the double modded procket or torpedo, to be more specific. And then we've got Boost, who also has a procket, synced console, FCS, expert handling, and composure. I played against this list, was able to beat it, but it's really scary. It's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Exclamation point bet 1 if you want to bet on that dude. Go ahead over to Republic. And I never even...
All right.
Now betting's open. Jeez.
Now you can bet on that dude. Or perhaps the other player, Surfing dude. Finn. The other dude. Has Surfing Finn won an invite yet?
Surfing... Oh, did we just... Okay, good. We did not fly off the board. It was just like, did we just get a ship flying off the board or something?
It lit up, but that definitely was not off.
Yeah, definitely not off. Surfing Finn did not play in the last one, so he does not have his invite. But he is he 3-0? I think he might not be. He might be 2-1. This might be a paradigm. Let me double check.
Yeah.
All
right. So while you do that,
Surfing Finn. Oh, Surfing Finn is 1-2. That dude is 2-1. So this is a pair down.
we got the pair up.
So
Pair down.
Yep.
However
Pair
you
down,
wanna
pair
look at it.
up,
All right.
whatever you want.
All right. So Surfing Finn is flying Surfing Fen Rao with
Hey.
Mando optics. This is the custom Fen. Small loadout, but just a little bit cheaper. Then we also have Talonbane Cobra, who also has a small loadout, but has overtuned modulators and Deadeye shot. Then we have Mr. Tapioca himself, Tapusk, with the Moldy Crow overtuned modulators, Secatro Bazago, someone we don't see often anymore, and Cutthroat. And then we also have Zuckuss, who is also 4 points, as Mist Hunter, Angle Deflectors, Lando Calrissian, and Dead Eye
Angle
Shot.
deflectors. Huh.
Yeah, that it's weird that drop the. If it didn't remove a shield, I'd be okay with it. But man, losing that shield for
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a cost for just getting a white reinforce, the mod slot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is. That is a tough one.
And then we have Sarcoplank in the quad jumper, the Space Tug, who also has Contraband Cybernetics, Protectorate Gleb for some coordinate action, and then Automated Targeting Priority, which will mean he has to shoot the closest ship in a range.
Something about range.
Yeah. Whatever the closest range he can shoot at is what he has to shoot at.
Yeah.
So
real bad if you're bumped.
Yes, it is. We have shooting range 0. So we have an interesting setup for round 4. This is this Assault at the Satellite Array?
It is.
I see the icon up top, and I think that's what that means.
Yes, sir.
So interesting setup in that we saw some old school jousting blocks set up at in their corners. Not jousting, but they were blocked up as if they were if somebody was across from them. We don't often see that anymore. We typically see more spread out so you can hit more objectives at once. So it was interesting to see both of them cornered up.
Bruder Mordred, thank you for the follow. Welcome. All right, I think we're planning for round 2. Is that what we're up to right now?
Yeah, I believe that's where we're at currently. Nothing to shoot currently. Got a decent spread of initiatives, 6, 5, 3, and 2. Only missing the 4 and the 1. If you're excluding, 7 and 0, but those are very corner cases. Alrighty. Players being very courteous and taking the dice out of the dice box themselves. Very good, very good.
How courteous.
So I have been flying Tapusk in the Hawk recently because he's an I-5. I rarely use his ability because you have to have somebody in your turret arc, and they have to have a recurring charge. So I have used it to depower like a Kylo that spent force or a Vader that spent force, but it's you don't take him for that. He's I-5, 5 health, and he's got a 3-die gun and can potentially double mod, because you got the focus and the target lock. So it's not a bad bet to put him on your team. And then you also have Talonbane, who's also 4 points that's at I-5 that can hit like a truck. Zuckuss has that hit like a truck, but at a much lower initiative at 3.
What are your thoughts on Talonbane? He's 4 points, and he certainly has the capability of hitting pretty hard, but this version of Talonbane and XWA, I find a little awkward for me to feel comfortable flying. What are your thoughts?
If he could take afterburners, I would take him. I flew him. He He couldn't get at range 1, and he would. It's not a maneuverable ship. It only has barrel roll. It doesn't have boost. So hitting that range 1, like unlike with Fen Rao, like Fen Rao, you want to be range 1. Sometimes you can hit it, sometimes you can't. Talonbane is much more. It's really hard to.
Yeah, you're like, I hope I get there just by moving.
Yeah. If the Kirax had the ability to boost in some fashion, that would very much help the chassis. But also, just specifically Talonbane, he just can't close the distance most of the time. There's no 3 hard.
No 1 straight.
And no 1 straight. Yeah, lacking the 3 hard, the 1 straight, it makes it handle worse than a TIE. It's essentially a TIE fighter dial, except for you lack the 3 hard.
Yeah.
So you've got a worse TIE dial. Because I used to fly a Kirax with Seavor, and it was like, why is Seavor much more maneuverable than the Kirax?
Yeah, the other thing is, you get range 1, you get that nice shot, but then you're a chassis that doesn't want to be at range 1.
Yeah, you really need to be like range 1 outmaneuvering somebody, which ain't gonna happen. Because
self-bump and a damage on Anakin.
Oh.
Just clips that back corner there, the edge of Oddball.
Yeah, it's a shame, but I mean, unless Fen is booking it in, you're not taking any shots this round, so it's not super bad.
Yeah. It's definitely
you never want to go in.
Yeah, Y-Wing Anakin taking free damage is... Ugh.
Yeah. You never want to lose a shield just for no reason at all, which is the reason why I don't take angled deflectors on anything like Zuckuss has. But,
Zuckuss essentially allows you. He's like, if I roll an extra detect die, you roll an extra defense die. That is Zuckuss. So you can get a 5 dice range 1 shot. I worry though. Where he is, he's in kind of he could be lit up this next turn.
Yeah. But if he's taking fire, the rest of your team isn't.
Sure, but the rest of his team is behind him, right? Like,
and you got potentially a procket from boost and from oddball, which could just eliminate you right there. If they roll well.
Yeah, I mean plasma torpedo you could do plasma protorp. You could do plasma protorp / procket. There's a wombo combo of ways to get Zuckuss off the board this next turn.
Yeah.
And that dude just kind of has to be in the general vicinity to get it done.
Yeah. So again, I think it's you're kind of okay with Zuckuss tanking all the munitions, because that means it's not going at your other guys. And also Sarko with Gleb could coordinate the reinforce, so you could get reinforce and a focus to tank some of that damage. And make those munitions a little less good. Maui, I love that, pointing out that this is dude versus surf. That's awesome.
Surf's up, dude.
So yeah, have you had a chance to look at the SL Zuckuss?
No.
So he's pretty good. He has a double tap. Like, if you shoot with his cannon first, he can take a strain to fire his primary. And let me tell you, that is pretty good. The problem is he's 5 points, so he's kind of hard to fit into a list.
Same
and
ability?
justify. But yeah, same ability. So you could potentially hit them with a tractor and then be like, okay, now I'm going to roll extra dice. Now that I've pulled you into range 1.
Wow.
Now I'll be rolling 5 dice, and you get an extra die, but you're tractored, so you don't get an extra die. It can be brutal. Him being I3 is a really mitigating factor. It's like he may pull the trick off once, because if he gets focused, he's gone.
Yeah, tractor beam is a range 1 to 2 weapon, or does it go out to 3? I can't remember. I know
It goes
jamming
out
beam
to
is 1 to
3.
3.
I think it goes out
Does
to
it?
3.
I thought it was range 1 to 2 for some reason. There's one of the cannons is range 1 to 2.
That is definitely jamming beam.
Oh, got it. Jamming beam you can't shoot at range 3. That makes sense. Tractor beam, yeah, you can shoot at range 3. Okay. I like that. That's a well-designed card. Where there's a lot of upside, but you have some compromises that you're making by just taking it, which is, something that a lot of the SLs that were popular lacked.
Yeah.
So that there was no downside. You just took all upside pilots.
Yeah. All right.
So I remember when Colonel Jendon first came out, I was freaking out about him.
Yeah, no, he was ridiculous.
He didn't slot into Rempire list the way I thought he would, but he did well enough to be able to be in those 4-ship lists that did very well. But yeah, I mean, it's absurd. It's like you could just one shot like half of X-Wing, the game of X-Wing with that thing.
Yeah, the being able to add the range 1 attack bonus to a 4-die attack was a bit absurd.
Easily get target locks every turn. Excuse me.
Yeah, target lock focus every turn. Most turns. I can't say every turn, but yeah, it was a quite the design. And
I6 is like, man, made Captain Yor look. I mean, like Captain Yor was like interesting, but like no one
Captain
really
Yor was very interesting. Yeah, no, I really like Yor, but when Jendon was just 7 points, it was like, yeah, I'm taking that. I think he's still worth taking at 8, but it's much easier to look at something and just be, I'll just take 2 4-pointers instead. All right, Talonbane taking a target lock, saying, oh, he got a. Did he get a coordinate?
He did his overtuned modulators, it appears.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, that seems risky going out there without a green token. But he's got a green token. So gonna go after, who is that? That's Oddball.
So boost could boost straight, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to line up bullseye range too.
You just focus and focus fire. All right. Now the Republic get to move their 5s.
The Republic has heard that hostiles have captured a command post.
Oh. I got to see Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, me too.
In theaters.
Did you enjoy
last
it?
Week. Yes. Like, I have enough of a stigma on the prequels to where I'm like, they're okay. But like when I watch Revenge of the Sith, I was like, no, this is actually a good movie. It's got flaws, but this is a good movie.
Yeah, it is. I was telling my friends, I'm like, man, if we just had like one more scene that was like when Anakin's looking out at Padme from across Coruscant, like that really emotional, like God, he like George like cooked with some of that stuff. Like, wow,
dude, I thought that scene was good. And then like when Mace Windu and he's got 2 Jedis flanking him as he's walking to Palpatine's office, I was like, man, that's actually a really good shot.
Yeah.
We got Ben coming in for the flank. That'll be actually pretty dang good, I think.
Yeah, the green screen technology in Revenge of the Sith is out of this world. It's
I think
the opening scene, the CG. I know it's a lot of CGI, but holy shit, does it hold up pretty well?
Yeah.
In the Star Wars universe, at least. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Basically, watching that movie, I was like, man, I think it's just Anakin's turn that needed a one more pass, where it's just like, it's like all the elements were there. I was, looking at it. It's like at the beginning, he spoilers, he kills Dooku. But he says, I shouldn't have done that. It's not the Jedi way. And then later, when Mace is going to kill Palpatine, he's like, don't do it. It's not the Jedi way. It's like, it's the same thing. It's like, that is actually a good parallel. And it's like, but it doesn't land perfect. It's like
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
mean,
you know.
sorry,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No,
I was just
it's just I feel like it's really well done. I think they it's just lit- they're just again just one small pass over that, and I think it would have been a great film.
well,
Otherwise,
even just
it's just a really good film.
for sure. I mean, another scene of just like Palpatine trying to like coerce Anakin versus him just like,
Yeah.
you know, like half the scenes of Palpatine with Anakin are like from the beginning of the movie where they're just trying
Yeah.
to escape. So,
All right, now we have engagement.
yeah, here we go. So a lot of locks being chucked onto Zuckuss. And we saw a pass of the focus from Plo Koon to Oddball for the
That's
Procket.
a pretty good roll there. I think you just spend your focus, and that crit should get turned down. There it goes. But yeah, 3 dice into Anakin. 2 more shields. Shields down on Anakin. It's a great start. Man, that Anakin for 5 points, you get a lot.
That's a good point. Yeah, Mace echoing what Palpatine said. He's too dangerous to be left alive. Yeah, there's some really good symbolic duality stuff that George utilized, especially. Sorry, well, we'll finish the shots. I have a whole thing I wanted to talk about that is going to distract. So this is a plasma torpedo into Zuckuss. Zuckuss is going to take 2 shields, so it could have been worse.
Yep, definitely could have been worse. Again, if you get everybody to spend munitions on Zuckuss, it's like, it sucks that he's gone, but he just absorbed. It was a sponge for all the munitions, taking a lot of the teeth out of the Republic. All right. Should have the Scum 5s now. Do you think you keep going into Anakin?
Yeah.
It's either that or you try
Rick is the other target here. Rick might make a little bit more sense. He doesn't have any green tokens. Talon Bane can shoot at Rick. Zuckuss can shoot at Rick.
If you potentially shoot at Oddball, though, you could peel off the focus so he can't use the Procket.
Yeah, I think it would have to be there'd have to be some crits in there or something for me to think he would be willing to spend the focus.
Yeah. Talon Bane does have the Deadeye shot, though. Not that Deadeye shot is very threatening. Liam, hey, how you doing, man? Got a lot of decisions going on here. Anakin isn't the wrong shot, the wrong choice. Yeah, you could potentially kill him this round. Oop,
Not bad.
Spend that focus.
Anakin did self bump earlier. He took a shield and has taken 2 more. Now into the hole here. Let's see what he gets. He rolls another blank. Ooh. It's going to take 2 more.
That puts him down to 3. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Talon Bane gotta shoot at Anakin. He had taken a lock on Oddball, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you might shoot at Oddball just for that reason. Again, you could potentially get him to spend a focus.
At Annie. You have to calculate, so you're just hoping that you get a couple of.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's got that as well.
Yeah, double crits.
2 crits,
so
one turns down.
Anakin hoping to roll some paints. Change 3. And he does. We'll spend a force, and he's going to be okay with that shot.
Yep. Talonbane not going to be happy that hasn't spent a single calculate from his overtuned. All right, we got the Rick shot.
Single modded plasma from Rick into Zuckus. Zuckus has a focus and a reinforce. Not the greatest roll, but if he had a focus, not too bad. But he doesn't, so he's gonna have to spend a lock on 2, the eyeball and the blank. What do we get? We get just 1.
Same thing.
Zuckus.
Yeah, I mean, makes it through the reinforce.
Good roll out of it. Doesn't. Takes 2.
Yeah. Takes 2. Oh, it was the plasma. Okay. It's like, why 2?
Yeah.
I figured it out myself.
And then he takes a crit right into the hole. Is that right? Yeah. No, it's face down. Oh, crit's canceled first?
Yeah, but...
He didn't have anything canceled. Wasn't it a crit?
I feel like he should take a crit. I don't. I thought it was a hit. Let me look at the... Yeah, it was a crit. Yeah.
I'll talk to him. Hey guys, I think that was a crit that Zuckus took, not a hit.
Oh, that's right.
What the chat log says. Yeah, thanks. Wounded, thanks.
Okay.
Okay. Wounded.
And what was the crit? Wounded pilot. Who cares? Oh, here comes that procket, and that is a good procket. So yeah, marksmanship, is that why he...
Yep. Uh-oh. Roll and evade. Nope. Could be
takes
enough.
4 and...
Reinforce, right? Still takes 4 though.
Yeah, and that should do it, right?
And that's too bad for Zucky. Wanted to get that kill shot opportunity into Anakin's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I guess he could have spent. He had Lando, right? He could have spent the focus to re-roll the die.
Oh, he does have Lando, doesn't he? Fuel leak. Those gas prices. I've heard.
People were saying that at Worlds, by the way.
Yeah, I understand why. Because you won't shut up about it.
You won't shut up about it. A man of the people.
Yeah. Speaking of man of the people, it is time for boost shot.
Well, now things get a little bit more difficult, but Fenrau is in an interesting flanking position. I think he has the 3 bank, though, to wrap around the debris. I'm not sure a 2 bank's going to get him past.
I think a 3 hard would do it. It'd be
3 hard wouldn't clip.
Clinching your butt cheeks, but with Anakin there.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no, the 3 hard's going to make it, but Anakin, you're playing with road there.
Boost should have a focus. Talonbane's like, please roll a couple of eyeballs.
Yeah.
Nope. Why would he? Would he get triple strain?
It's like, I evaded it. Yay.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
So back to Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Oh, so what I was going to say was the symbolism of Yoda and Palpatine fighting in the Senate chambers is like, I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but I was just thinking about that. I'm like, oh my God, that's like unbelievably incredible symbolism. Like,
yeah,
you don't get that kind of there's a little bit of it in the first 2 movies, but I feel like he really did a good job of like, he's like, this is it, this is the fate of the galaxy, right? So we've got the fate of the light side, the fate of the dark side, fighting in the Senate chambers, like that controls the galaxy. Like, so genius.
Yeah, and I like, so my main thing again is the turn. Like Anakin, he kills Mace, he doesn't kill Mace. He disarms Mace, quite literally, and then Palpatine kills him. But and then like immediately after that, he's just like, "Yep, I'm down. I'm ride or die now." And it was just like, I feel like you could have done that just a
I
little
agree.
bit better. You know,
The more I
like
rewatch it,
but-
the more the turn is a little tough for me, for sure.
yeah.
How
Like,
did he get
if
7 points? Did we
he
kill
killed
another ship?
Zuckuss, which is 4.
Okay,
and
then he got
then
+3, and then he somehow got +2 as well. He got like plus.
so he got
Oh,
the
it's because the
center,
previous
and then he
turn.
got the bottom two.
I didn't count the last turn. I think of objective scoring is what I did
Oh,
not
okay.
do. So it's 9-4. Yeah, that makes more sense.
You're a failure. I understand.
Yeah, seriously, that's I just missed it. Turn of scenario counting. I'm a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I go back and forth. Like, it is weak. I think it's passable because it just depends on how you dig into the psychology of the scenes that they try to attribute to his turn. And like, you know, like
I just
something to be said about Palpatine's like almost like a spell of manipulation and stuff. Like, that's a stretch, but at least you could make the argument.
Yeah. My thought was like they should have had Anakin accidentally kill Mace, and then Palpatine would have been like, listen, you know, I can make this right. You know, I can protect you from this. Also, you know, on top of that, you know, so he's still playing a good guy, you know, whereas it just feels like
I don't know. Palpatine killing Mace with the shot and the lightning is pretty wild. It's hard
I mean,
imagine that.
It's what, but like if Anakin had accidentally killed him, and he'd be like, okay, you know what, we're gonna, you know, I'm gonna protect you from this, and then also I'm gonna teach you how to, you know, to heal Padme because she's gonna die. You keep seeing visions of it, blah blah blah. That way he has a little more of a hold on it, and then like it gives Anakin motive to go to arrest the Jedi, you know, which that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to go
point of view, the Jedi are evil. Well, then you are lost.
Yeah. But like when he goes to the temple, like, and I feel like you could have played it like he tells Anakin he's there to arrest the Jedi, and then he just tells all the clones, you're there to kill the Jedi, and like, you know, you press it to where, you know, you force a conflict, and then Anakin, you know, just has to commit to the massacre at that point because he's, you know,
he's in too deep.
Yeah. And so, and that's basically where I'm at. It's like I feel like it just needed a slight, you know, just one more draft, you know.
I wish we had a little bit more devastation from Obi-Wan when he watched the security hologram. Like, I thought that was some bad acting, to be honest.
Yeah,
from McGregor.
We need tears.
Yeah, and we need him to have a mental breakdown almost, you know, like like he's watching children being slaughtered, and he's like, no, this can't be. It's like, well, it's how you're so chill about this.
Yeah. Whereas like later we see the emotion when he's like, you know, you were my brother, Anakin. Like that is that's some awesome acting there. It's like you feel it, and then like and then we know Ewan can act. You know, like it's one of the best parts of the Obi-Wan series because you know the Obi-Wan series has some problems, but like that when he's when he finds out that Darth Vader is Anakin, it's like you could see the grief in his face, and it's just like, yeah, this is good acting. So it's like that one spot where he's just like, no, this can't happen.
Yeah,
and that's it.
It's just like yeah. I mean, also super random, but there's something very gratifying about watching Yoda chuck a lightsaber to the chest of a clone trooper.
I mean, it's actually pretty cool.
It's pretty. It's just like, man.
Yeah,
it makes me giddy.
It's like, yeah, that was
so
cool.
badass. And I just love that people complain that Yoda's badass. Like, you know, you talk to a wall about how you don't like him jumping around. He's small. Talk to a wall about how you don't like the fact that he uses his lightsaber to fight with, because that's what it's meant for, is to defend yourself and fight with. You know, talk to a wall about that. I want to talk about the fact that this guy, you know, he's got the cane, he rolls up, and the Imperial guards point their staffs at him, and he decks them into the wall and kills them and knocks them out so hard they're dead. I'm like, this is the Yoda I want to see. Not some old dude that's just, you know, all the time. You know, I want a little bit of both.
Yeah, I
like to Wall about it.
I liked him being competent. You know, it's the Dooku thing, him versus Dooku.
Yeah, it's not as good, but I mean, when he's fighting
Yeah.
Palpatine, it's fine. I mean, I get it. He's like he's
It's
jumping
no,
around all
it's
over the
it's
place. It's
it's not as it's much more reserved. It's not like he's bouncing back and forth constantly. There's a leap here, there's a jump there.
yeah,
Whereas like Dooku, it just feels like that's all that's happening.
yeah,
It was jarring.
right, right, yeah,
I'm still not mad at it, but it is jarring, and I understand any
yeah.
complaints about it. My complaints
But
about
for Revenge of the Sith, they still complain. It's like stop.
yeah,
Like
no, it's good.
he needs to be that badass. Like I needed that injected into my veins when he's being overpowered. But like by both with the scene when he throws the Senate seat at him and he's like about to get hit by it, but then he turns back and he starts rotating it. And then when the lightning, where he's about to lose it, and then he just turns and he locks it, and you're like, yes, Yoda, yes. I don't know. I just get so fired up.
Nick, I think you're a fan.
I am a big fan. Yeah, and then the look on Palpatine, he's like, oh, and he like falls back because it's just so good to see just how powerful Yoda is. He's so powerful.
I was about to bring up the spinning the Senate seat because like it doesn't really do anything. I was like, Yoda, you're going for cool points right now. You need to lock in and just throw that thing at him right now.
Yeah, well, he's trying to get some backspin on that damn thing.
Yeah,
yeah, he's a little Hawk to a Force style, I guess.
Yeah, just throw some English on that thing. Yeah. I don't have this Yoda versus Dooku. I don't really have a problem with the lightsaber fight, but the Anakin versus Dooku in 2,
it's
I
terrible.
really don't like.
It's really dark and it's just like weird. You could tell there's some choreography issues that they're trying to mask.
And there's a scene where it's like 4 seconds of just close-ups of their face with lights going by, and I'm like, ugh.
But there's no like lightsaber clashing sounds, you know. If there was that and there was the spark of the lightsaber on their face, it would at least feel like they were fighting.
Yeah, but at least with Attack of the Clones, I don't think anybody argues that it's good. No, most folks don't argue in favor of Attack of the Clones.
No, Attack of the Clones is the worst one in my opinion. But of the 3, and then Rise of Skywalker is the worst Star Wars movie of all of them. I'll gladly take Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones over Rise of Skywalker any day of the week.
Yeah, I say like there are some good moments in Rise, but just overall, it's a bad movie.
It's such an insulting movie though. Like at least like the prequels, whatever. If you're a fan or you're not, they're like a missed opportunity for people who don't like them, but they don't deeply insult your intelligence as a Star Wars fan like Rise of Skywalker does. It really felt insulting watching that movie. It's like, wow, I feel personally attacked watching this movie right now. Especially when they'd say things like fire ion cannons and they start shooting turbo lasers everywhere. It's like, we forgot what that is.
I was like,
what is this shit, man?
Yeah. The sin for me for Rise of Skywalker is the knife that shows exactly where the throne room is, and it's just like, you're telling me that thing doesn't shift at all in an ocean, and you have to be standing in this exact spot. You have to just happen to be in that exact spot and know that there's a secret thing on the knife to get there. It's like you could have figured something else out.
Anakin's taking a shot at Tupuskir, it looks like. Tupusk takes one.
Now we got the Fen shot.
Ooh.
Big 5 into Plo. It's still going to be 3.
Come on, Plo. Blank out, Plo. Blank out, Plo. Oh,
close. That's hit crit.
Hit crit. The crit is going to be a damage sensor, right?
Okay. Can only focus, which Plo is kind of fine with.
Yeah, no
does that a lot
controls, I guess.
But yeah, it does turn off his fancy fine tunes.
J.J. Abrams is an openings like an opener, like a starting pitcher who can pitch 3 or 4 innings. He's not a closer.
Yeah, no, he has a problem with, and like this is why I didn't get into Lost, was he's like, here's a mystery, but he doesn't have an answer for it.
Yeah.
And that hurts when you get to the ending. Like Liam saying there is like, he doesn't know how to end a scene. So yeah, if you don't know how to end something, I'm not saying a scene, I'm saying, you don't know how to end the plot. It's like, that's, you're good at setting up the intrigue.
Yeah. Honestly, the other thing, we could say so many things about everything, but the throne room scene in Return of the Jedi should be and is seen by pretty much everybody as a sacred scene where Vader saves his son from being murdered in front of him by Palpatine. It's a very important emotional scene that really caps off Star Wars at the time. This kind of capped it off, and for that to be kind of cast aside so carelessly because of Rise of Skywalker, it was really another reason why I felt insulted. It almost diminishes the meaning.
We got proton
Palpatine
torps
doesn't actually
into
die.
Sarko.
Hit crit
3 hits
from
crit.
Oddball. It's obstructed, so it's going to be Sarko's ability.
Ooh,
Sarko's ability, but he
taking
still rolls
all of it.
terribly. Panicked. He's on 1.
Okay, he still lives. That's still something. You're contesting the top until Rick kills you.
Yeah, the artboards are cool, but Colin Trevorrow is also pretty bad. So I hesitate to think the movie would have been like really good. It might have just been better. Yeah, he's the Jurassic World guy. That's what he's known for. And a couple other not great movies. He's also apparently a horrible person to work with, and that's why he got fired. Just because he was just a huge douchebag. Like a lot of people in Hollywood. Not a surprise.
Yeah. Like, I really like Force Awakens, even though it's a, copy paste plot, but for the most part. Oh, jeez, man. Come on, Talendane. At least he has the target lock on, what's his face, right? Yeah.
Oh, he didn't re-roll the eyeball? He has a focus.
Yeah, he's got a focus. All right, there you go.
Who's that into? Oh, sorry, I missed
I believe that's into Oddball. The oddest of balls.
Yeah, Oddball blanking out will just be a kill here.
Oh, he Sakatro Vizagoed the overtuned modulators. That's why he didn't get strained. Okay. All right. Oh, takes it all. Goodbye, Oddball.
Oh, he didn't have a focus. That's right.
Yeah.
I thought he did. That's why I said a blank out will finish him off. But essentially the same thing. Same effect.
Yeah.
All right, Surfing Finn getting up to 8 points here.
Yeah. The thing that I don't like about Force Awakens is that when they come back from the destruction of Starkiller Base, Leia goes to hug Rey and not Chewbacca. That's criminal. That's criminal.
I don't know. This is kind of me just feeling, oh my gosh, this isn't Anakin.
I mean, it's a good shot.
Turns
the
it
crit
down.
doesn't
Anakin
turn
rolls
down.
a blank and he will die if he does.
Oh, I thought Anakin got
he's
a crit.
dead.
He did, but he still dies. So
Wow. Goodness gracious. What a big turn for scum and villainy.
Liam wants a pod racing film. Pod racing showed up in an episode of Andor for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It was on the screen. I'd be interested in something pod racing.
So for a while, Disney Star Wars was doing this thing where they would create a new thing that was like, okay, like a new species of alien, which is pretty normal to do in Star Wars, but they would create a new species of alien that was almost a carbon copy of one that already existed. And you'd be like, oh, that's a Twi'lek. They'd be like, no, that's a Bilik. Like, okay. You'd be like, that's the DL-44. It's actually, no, it's the DT-43. It's like, does it make it look original, please? If we're gonna do this thing where it's like pretty much the same thing as something that already exists, you're gonna try to be like, well, it's actually something new. I don't know. It's one thing to make new things and they feel original, but even Jakku is like Tatooine, but it's not. There are other desert planets in Star Wars that makes sense, but it's just for it to resemble a place that we already know and it to follow the same kind of structure as A New Hope. It just felt really cheap. It's like, hey, try a little harder to be a little bit more original.
Yeah, but again, it was they nailed the aesthetic, which I think was huge for just nailing the aesthetic of what Star Wars felt like.
Mm-hmm.
And then I enjoyed Poe as a character. I still think they should have explained how he survived the TIE-SF explosion or what happened there, because they really didn't. I'm sure it's in a comic somewhere, but that's one of my other complaints. But
yeah, and it's not a reasonable excuse to ask people, what, let's say 2% of Star Wars fans, digest more than just the show and film media. 5%, whatever. It's a very small number to be like, oh, well, we retconned that later or fixed that problem later after we knew we fucked up in a book or a comic. It's like, don't care.
I think they did. Rick not kill Sarko? Go Sarko. Good job.
Sarko lives, and we're doing our scenario scoring here, and I think it's going to be Fenrau getting 1. I think Plo might get the bottom right there. 15-9. Wow, how things kind of shifted after Zuckuss died. I was like, oh, a little bit of momentum here for Republic, looking decent. But Anakin kind of took enough damage to be a liability this following turn.
Yeah.
Not only does he die, but Oddball dying as well, and you've got all that's left is a Plo who's hurting with a damage sensor array. He has to be mindful of a Fenrau who's right behind him, and you've got Rick who's in a bit of a weird spot where he has to kind of wrap around the top of the board. So looking pretty good.
Yeah,
for Scum.
But yeah, I'd put Force Awakens in the good, but it's got a few misses.
I
but
put it in the good enough category for me.
Yeah. Last Jedi is in good but flawed. There's a lot there that I don't like, but I still enjoy plenty of it.
I would put The Last Jedi in good enough as well, and I didn't like The Last Jedi, but like hindsight, and also because Rian Johnson objectively is a good director, I have some conspiracy theories about how he wasn't able to do a few things that he wanted to do, and that the Leia scene was not his idea. I will maintain that theory, that idea, for that feeling forever. Felt like something that was added later on. Really bizarre scene. And people are like, you don't want Leia to be force sensitive. Like, I don't care about that. It just needs to be something I can digest. Like,
I actually don't have that's not one of my sticking points. I just think
that scene ruined the movie for me. I was like, my life, like I felt like my life was over when I watched that scene. I'm like, I cannot fathom what I'm just seeing. It looked so bad. The CGI was so bad too.
Yeah, I think that was part of the problem. But what annoyed me about it was like how unceremoniously you killed Akbar there. Like he just I feel like he should have been the one that did the Holdo maneuver. Like, let a character that we are familiar with do the sacrifice, as opposed to Holdo, who we've known for maybe 5-10 minutes of screen time.
Stuff like that is more like Star Wars fandom gripes, which I mean, as a fan, I get. But like, yeah, I focus so much more on the continuity issues, and the writing issues that don't make like. Sorry to cut you off, but like going back to the Leia thing, when she flies back into the blown up bridge, there's no way continuity wise for her to actually get inside. So she just touches the door and then she's inside. And I hate that shit. It's like, you guys what are you doing? You can write it in a way that makes sense. Like,
I agree with that. It's like, because I think I even leaned over to the person. I was like, how did she get in?
No.
That whole room is gone. She fly around to the other side. I didn't like the whole Canto Bite section. I The second time I saw it, I literally fell asleep um,
Yeah,
during that
right.
spot. And I don't fall asleep during movies, but I did, and I was just like, oh
Yeah.
wow, I guess that's how.
I don't think a
Much
lot
I
of
didn't
people
care
were
for
a
that.
fan of Canto Bight, but the actual the planet itself, like I think it was a wasted concept
Yeah.
because they were really onto something with it, but
Yeah.
they just wasted it. Which
Yeah,
is kind
it
of
was
is really just comes back to a thing that is a theme with those movies is they waste a lot of good opportunities and they spend way too much time distracted by stuff that we don't care about that isn't
Yeah.
important enough.
No, I mean, and like Canto Bight was the analog for Cloud City. It's the place that thinks it's outside the empire. It's affluent, but it turns out it's not. You know, it is crawling with the empire because they have the power, or it's crawling with the FO because they have power. You know, it's one of my issues with Last Jedi was it seemed to be saying, let's not do. We don't have to do this the trilogy over again, and then does so much of that trilogy over again. Yeah. Uh, it says, you know, let the past go, and then
Let the past die. Kill
does
the
a lot of stuff that
Yeah.
the past did.
It would be, you know, and Domhnall Gleeson, another kind of really bizarre, it almost feels personally like a personal vendetta against the poor guy to actually have any sort of meaningfulness in that series. Besides that cool speech, like, I mean, they unwrite him and kill him off so casually and so, you know, almost comically. Like, it's almost like a meme.
Yeah.
Stuff
Well,
like that.
and
I just wonder. It's like, what's the thought process? I know they didn't really have one because they admitted that they didn't, which is obviously a crime. But it's like, what's the thought process on kind of completely wasting not only a great actor but a character who had a lot of potential over the span of multiple movies of 6 hours of runtime?
Well, and you also said it in the chat, but what about Phasma? What happened to her? She was just like, oh, she gets tossed in a garbage compactor. I was like, well, that feels like a waste. And then in the second movie, she like the fight between her and Fenn is basically interrupted by the exploding ship, right? Like it felt like there was no real like payoff to that Phasma. Like I feel like you could have had a good Phasma Finn rivalry. I don't know what to call it. Arc. So back to this game that is being played. Sarko did a great maneuver, backed up and let the N1 fly right by him. And man, this just seems like really good for the scum this round. Particularly with Fenn rolling the heat like that. He has the Mando optics lock. He's going to spend the focus because Fenn has taken no damage and has nobody shooting him. And that's going to kill Plo.
Ugh.
Yep, definitely going to kill Plo.
And that's going to do it. Yeah. Plo will be gone. That bottom objective will be scored.
And now it's just padding your stats. Can you do it?
So Surfing Finn will finish 2-2. So he won't get cut, but will finish respectable 2-2. And so will that dude who was 2-1. So they'll both finish 2-2.
Davion, the final is the next match, I believe.
Yeah, win. I mean, so it depends on the other player and their game, and ideally we don't have a long. I think we'll have a very short break just to get them set up. Maybe 10 minutes or 15 or so. Let me check in to see if our ladder has been completed. Yeah, we don't have another 4-0 yet. So Tom Veal will be returning to our stream as he is 4-0, and he told me he wanted to win that trophy, and he's given himself a damn good chance to do it. So we will see CIS on at least one side of the board.
That's a good roll. And that focus. Oh, never mind. Wrong ship.
Man, Veal.
points out of it. Sarko gonna put in 5 hits right here.
Oh, this is the shot from Boosty Boost.
Okay, that's Boost. Boost goes first, then
Tempest
Sarko.
takes 1.
Yeah,
Snarko.
but not gonna matter.
Snarko spank.
Yeah,
Right.
again, I think the real winning thing for Surfing Fin here was that Zuckuss got to take the brunt of the attack. You know, you committed 4 attacks into Zuckuss, while everybody else got to put some damage into Anakin, and then Fen got to flank. It still could have gone in that dude's way, but Surfing Fin was able to pull it out with some good fin shots and just some decent shots all around, and while playing the objectives.